You have been taught that success is unpredictable, that wealth is reserved for the lucky, that some people are just born with it. But I am here to tell you that is a lie. There is no such thing as chance when it comes to riches. There are only causes and effects. Everything in your life, including your financial condition, is the consequence of laws, not luck. The man who understands these laws, who studies them, obeys them, and lives by them, he does not chase money. He attracts it. He commands it. He expects it. And the universe without fail delivers. These are not the laws of man. They are the laws of the universe. They govern everything. Ignore them and you suffer. Align with them and you rise. Today I will give you 7 universal laws that control your riches. Not one of them can be bypassed. Not one of them can be bent. But every one of them can be mastered. And once you do, wealth will no longer be a mystery. It will be inevitable. The first of these laws is the law of definite purpose. Nothing begins without clarity. Nothing is achieved by accident. The man who walks without a direction will circle in confusion for the rest of his life. But the man who names his aim, who declares it with precision, who writes it in his heart and his mind, he calls upon forces far greater than himself. A definite purpose turns wishes into commands. It gives your thoughts structure, your actions meaning, and your life momentum. The universe is a mirror. It reflects not what you want, but what you are clear about. Decide, and the world responds. Drifters dream. Achievers define. So you must ask yourself, what exactly do I want? And why? Then fix your eyes on it. Never look away. And move forward with relentless commitment. The second law is the law of belief. What you believe becomes your world. Not because of magic, but because belief directs action and action shapes reality. The man who believes he is destined to be poor will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity for wealth. But the man who believes he is worthy of riches will find a way, even through the darkest storm. Your subconscious accepts what you feed it, whether truth or lie. And what it accepts, it enforces. If you believe you are meant to succeed, your mind will find proof. If you believe you are doomed to fail, your mind will find confirmation. You must rewire your internal belief system. Tell yourself daily, I am a magnet for wealth. I am capable. I am unstoppable. Not as empty words, but as commands. Because once you believe it, the world will too. The third law is the law of value. Wealth is the shadow of value. The greater your contribution, the greater your compensation. Money does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who serve. You are paid in direct proportion to the quality, quantity, and intensity of the value you create. Solve bigger problems, and you earn bigger rewards. The man who improves himself becomes more useful. The man who multiplies his usefulness becomes indispensable. That is the path to wealth. Don't ask, what can I get? Ask, what can I give that others need? Be the answer to someone's problem. Be the key to someone's door. Become so valuable that the market cannot ignore you. Then wealth follows not as a gift, but as a reward. The fourth law is the law of persistence. Nothing worthwhile is achieved without resistance. That resistance is not punishment. It is the test of your seriousness. The man who quits when it gets hard was never meant to win. But the man who persists who advances in the face of setbacks, who refuses to bow to discouragement, he becomes unstoppable. Persistence is the muscle of the mind. Every day you persist, that muscle grows stronger. Success is often just one more step beyond failure. Most never take it, but those who do, they rise. Make a decision today. I will persist until it happens, until I arrive, until I conquer. The world yields to those who refuse to quit. The fifth law is the law of decision. Success does not wait for the hesitant. It runs to the man who decides. Decision cuts through doubt like a blade. It ends hesitation. It eliminates confusion. The man who cannot decide will be ruled by those who can. Your life changes the moment you decide to no longer tolerate mediocrity. When you draw a line and say, no more, when you say, this is the life I demand and I will create it, that is when power enters. The universe rewards speed. It rewards clarity. It rewards boldness. You do not need more time. You need a decision. Make it now. Make it firm. Make it final. The sixth law is the law of environment. You cannot soar in a cage. You cannot grow in poisoned soil. Your environment is either your greatest asset or your deepest trap. What you surround yourself with determines what grows within you. If you live in the circle of mediocrity, you will shrink to fit it. If you build a circle of growth, you will stretch to meet it. Look at your daily inputs, the conversations, the media, the people. Are they fueling your greatness or feeding your doubt? Cut the noise. Eliminate the distractions. Create an environment that demands your best. Success blooms in cultivated ground. Build that ground or fail on someone else's terms. The seventh and final law is the law of expectation. You do not get what you want. You get what you expect. Expectation is belief in action. It is the silent force that shapes your posture, your choices, your behavior. The man who expects to win plays to win. The man who expects to fail barely shows up. Life meets you at your level of expectation. Raise it. Walk as if it's already done. Speak as if it's already yours. Think as if you're already becoming it. The universe has no choice but to respond. Expectation is a prophecy you fulfill with every step you take. You can never outperform your own expectations. So raise them, anchor them, live by them. These 7 laws do not care if you agree. They do not pause for your feelings. They do not yield to your doubts. They simply are. The man who obeys them rises. The man who breaks them suffers. That is the deal. That is the system. The choice now belongs to you. Will you continue drifting, hoping, wishing, or will you align, decide, and rise? Riches are not about chance. They are about call. And today, you hold the causes. The rest is up to you. Now that you've been introduced to the 7 universal laws that govern riches, you must understand that mere awareness of these laws is not enough. Awareness without application is as useless as having a map and never moving your feet. The invisible thread that ties these laws together and activates their power in your life is disciplined action. Most men nod their heads at truth, but few build their lives upon it. The man who wins is not the man who reads the most or listens the longest. It is the man who acts swiftly and consistently upon what he knows. These laws will serve you only if you serve them first. Let us now dive deeper into how these laws must be applied. not sporadically, not occasionally, but as a permanent foundation of how you think, live, and breathe. Begin with the law of definite purpose. You must not only write down your purpose, you must breathe it, think it, speak it. Every morning when you rise, your purpose should be the first thing that calls to your mind. Every night when you sleep, it should be the last image you hold. Why? Because your mind is shaped by repetition. Repetition turns a thought into a belief into an expectation, and an expectation into a reality. The mistake most men make is they write down their purpose once and never look at it again. They leave their vision to gather dust in a drawer, but the wealthy revisit it daily. They obsess over it. It becomes their compass. You must burn your definite purpose so deeply into your consciousness that no storm, no rejection, no delay can wash it out. It must live in you. It must haunt you. It must become so real in your mind that your environment begins to bow in recognition of it. Then there is the law of belief. Do not think belief is some vague spiritual fluff. No, belief is the architecture of achievement. Your results will never rise above the blueprint in your subconscious. Most men have installed limiting beliefs through years of failure, criticism, and conformity. They do not realize that their mind has become a prison. If you believe money is evil, you will never allow yourself to possess it. If you believe success is for others, you will sabotage your own rise. You must uproot these weeds from your mind. Replace them with beliefs that support your greatness. This is not delusion, it is design. Every affirmation you speak, every visualization you practice, every time you act in defiance of doubt, you are rewiring your subconscious blueprint. And once your belief changes, everything else follows. You will take different actions. You will see new opportunities. You will behave like the winner you were meant to be. That is the true power of belief. It alters your reality at the level of cause. Next, the law of value demands your focus. You must stop seeking shortcuts to money. You must stop fantasizing about windfall. These are the distractions of the weak-minded. Wealth is not hunted. It is attracted by value. Every man who holds riches today has done so by offering something the world was willing to pay for. You cannot escape this truth. Study the great fortunes. Behind each one is a solution, a service, or a skill. Therefore, to grow rich, you must grow valuable. Read more, practice more, build more, teach more, give more. Ask yourself daily, how can I multiply the value I provide to others? Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like a creator. The man who builds solutions will never beg for bread. The world pays generously for those who solve its pain. Become one of them, and you will never know poverty again. Now we come to the law of persistence. Every law works slowly at first. There is no instant reward, and that is by design. Persistence is the filter that separates the pretender from the professional. The universe gives you resistance at first, not to break you, but to build you. Every obstacle you face is training your mind for what's ahead. Those who give up early prove they were never serious. But the one who endures builds momentum. Momentum compounds. The small efforts made daily, reading when others sleep, working when others party, preparing when others relax, those stack up. And when they do, the breakthrough becomes inevitable. Do not chase speed. Chase consistency. Do not seek applause. Seek alignment. The man who persists with patience becomes unstoppable. The law of decision requires that you destroy hesitation. Most people never fail. They simply never decide. They live in limbo. waiting for the right time, for more clarity, for better conditions. And so they stay broke. But wealth favors the decisive. The moment you decide, truly decide, the machinery of the universe begins to shift. Your mind sharpens. Your will strengthens. Your path unfolds. Do not wait for certainty. That is a lie. Act in faith. Faith is not blind, it is bold. Every fortune began with a bold decision. Every empire was built on the other side of a firm choice. You must decide that failure is not final. You must decide that mediocrity is no longer acceptable. And you must act in full alignment with that decision. Do not test the waters. Dive in. The ones who win are those who move while others wait. Now let us look at the law of environment with new eyes. You are not as independent as you think. You are a product of your surroundings. Your habits are shaped by your peers, your standards by your circle, your mindset by your daily inputs. If you remain in toxic environments where people gossip, complain, settle, you will be infected. You cannot drink poison and expect to be healthy. You cannot spend your energy among doubters and expect to stay inspired. You must protect your environment with ruthless clarity. Remove yourself from people who drain your power. Limit access to those who speak defeat. Surround yourself with achievers, readers, builders. Even if you walk alone at first, walk proudly. Solitude in truth is better than company in confusion. Your environment will either feed your greatness or choke it. Choose wisely. Build intentionally. Finally, we revisit the law of expectation with the depth it demands. Expectation is not hope. Hope is passive. Expectation is active. Expectation speaks in certainty. It walks with authority. When you expect to win, you prepare differently. You speak differently. You walk into rooms with a presence that demands respect. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it. Expectation creates energy, energy that influences everything around you. If you expect little, life will deliver it. If you expect greatness and walk in alignment with it, life will rise to meet you. Raise your standard of what is normal. Speak as though you already possess what you seek. That is not arrogance, it is alignment. The poor man hopes for change. The rich man expects it, prepares for it, and receives it. Make your expectation match your potential, not your past. These laws are not random pieces of wisdom. They are a code. Together, they form a system. That system, when applied with faith and discipline, guarantees transformation. But you must live it, not visit it. You must ingrain it, not recite it. You must become it, not admire it. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when the results are slow, when the people around you scoff. That is when the laws are working deepest. Do not retreat. Do not pause. Double down. Your results lag behind your belief. Keep moving. Your time is coming. When you walk in definite purpose, believe in your destiny, multiply your value, persist with fire, decide with courage, protect your environment, and expect success, then riches become your right. Not by inheritance, not by accident, but by law. And no man, no market, no circumstance can deny the man who aligns with these laws. It is time you stop wishing and start commanding. It is time you stop watching others rise and start climbing. The keys have been given. The laws are clear. You must now choose. Will you remain where you are, Or will you become the master of riches by mastering the laws that govern them? The universe awaits your answer. Understand this. Every single action you take, every thought you permit, and every word you speak must now serve your alignment with these laws. The man who treats these universal laws like suggestions will always live at the mercy of others. But the one who honors them like commandments, who treats each principle with the seriousness of breath and heartbeat, will unlock power that most will never touch. You are not here to be average. You were not made to crawl when you have the capacity to fly. And if you truly desire to soar, you must devote your entire being, thought, habit, speech, and energy to walking in the pattern these 7 laws prescribe. Wealth is not created in spurts. It is not attracted by partial commitment. The riches you seek flow only to the man who is all in, not sometimes, not when it's easy, always. Let us sharpen our focus on the law of definite purpose once more, for without it all else collapses. Purpose is the engine behind every great achievement. Men of wealth are not smarter. They are not luckier. They are aligned. Their minds are fixated on an aim so clearly defined, so deeply rooted, that every fiber of their being moves in coordination toward its manifestation. You must burn your purpose into your subconscious like a brand into leather. You must see it when you close your eyes. Speak it with conviction. Let it define your choices, your associations, your consumption. The moment you lose sight of your purpose, you lose command over your path. You invite distraction, and distraction is the silent killer of every dream. Now consider the law of belief again, but from a more commanding height. You have already begun to uproot the limiting beliefs that choked your progress. But uprooting is only the first step. You must now construct beliefs so strong, so empowering, that they become a fortress against doubt. And how do you do that? Through daily declaration, through conscious reinforcement, through aligned action. Every time you act in a way that reinforces a belief, you solidify it. If you believe you are worthy of wealth, you will not tolerate sloth. You will not accept excuses. You will not retreat in the face of obstacles. You will behave like a man who expects results, and in doing so you will command them. Belief is not passive. It is a weapon. Wield it daily. Sharpen it relentlessly. And what of the law of value? Most men think value is a product, a service, a business. That is only part of the truth. True value begins with who you become. If you are not improving, your value is not increasing. You must become a man so skilled, so rare, so excellent in your contribution to others that compensation becomes inevitable. This means reading beyond the average, practicing longer than others, training when others rest. It means building expertise that cannot be ignored. When you develop this level of value, money is not something you chase. It is something that flows to you, not occasionally, but consistently. Because you are now a vessel of rare utility, and the marketplace never ignores utility. If you are not being paid what you desire, it means your value must grow. Never complain. Never beg. Build, grow, contribute. The law of persistence must now become your daily companion. Most people give up too early because they were raised to expect quick results. But this work is not for the impatient. You are planting oak trees, not flowers. And oak trees require time, pressure, and persistent care. You must understand that success always takes longer than you expect, but the reward is always greater than you imagine. Do not measure your progress by daily fluctuations. Measure it by your consistency in action. Were you disciplined today? Did you execute your plan? Did you move forward even 1 inch? That is progress. And compounded over weeks, months, and years, it becomes unstoppable force. The men who build legacies are those who refuse to quit even when applause was absent and the road was steep. We return again to the law of decision with renewed energy. Look around you. Most people live in limbo. They hesitate. They procrastinate. They defer, and by doing so, they forfeit power. You must become a decisive force. Once your purpose is clear, your decisions must follow swiftly. Delay is the death of momentum. Decide and act. You will make mistakes, yes, but indecision is the greater mistake. It kills energy. It welcomes doubt. It neutralizes progress. When you become decisive, your confidence grows. Your clarity sharpens. You teach your subconscious to trust your leadership. And when your inner self sees that you are serious, it aligns with your commands. The universe respects boldness. Make decisions that reflect your power, not your fear. The law of environment must now be honored with absolute discipline. Every element of your surroundings must support your success. Your space must be organized. Your time must be protected. Your company must be selected with precision. Remove noise. Eliminate clutter. Avoid gossip. Cut ties with those who mock your ambition. You cannot rise in the same soil that birthed your stagnation. You must uproot and replant yourself in fertile ground, environments that demand your excellence, not tolerate your mediocrity. This includes your digital environment. Curate what you read. Control what you see. Protect what you listen to. Every input shapes your identity. You are becoming every moment. The only question is, are you becoming better or worse? Your environment answers that. The law of expectation is now your final age. Expectation is the mental state of readiness. It is the internal signal that tells your subconscious, prepare for arrival. When you expect success, your body language changes. Your conversations shift. Your eyes see opportunity where others see obstacles. Expectation activates your reticular system, the part of your brain that filters reality. What you expect, you begin to notice. What you notice, you begin to attract. This is why negative expectation creates a loop of failure. The man who expects rejection unconsciously invites it. But the one who expects to win, to profit, to rise, he sees doors where others see walls. He knocks when others walk away. He persists when others fold. That is the invisible advantage of expectation. It becomes a magnet for outcomes. Now let us bring this all together. You are not merely learning principles. You are forming a philosophy of living. The 7 laws are not tactics. They are not temporary strategies. They are pillars upon which your entire future must be built. A man who lives by these laws walks differently. He speaks with command. He no longer fears poverty, for he understands its cause, and more importantly, its cure. He is not surprised by wealth. He expects it because he has aligned himself with its requirements. There is no mystery here, only mastery. Master the laws, and riches will respond. Do not look for permission. You already have the keys. Do not wait for validation. You already have the laws. Do not shrink back in fear. You already have the tool. All that remains is execution. Relentless, unwavering, disciplined execution. Begin each day with your purpose. Speak your affirmations. Guard your mind. Feed your value. Persist without compromise. Decide quickly. Elevate your environment. Expect victory. Live this way, and soon the evidence will show. Your bank account will grow. Your circle will change. Your influence will expand. Your days will carry power. That is not a fantasy. It is a law-bound result. You were not made to be a beggar in the land of riches. You were not born to live in lack while abundance surrounds you. The universe is not cruel. It is exact, and it rewards those who align with its design. If you are ready to rise, the way is clear. It is not easy, but it is simple. Align yourself with these 7 laws, and you will not just speak about success, you will live it, breathe it, and own it. You will become the evidence that wealth is not random. It is earned by law. Let your life be the proof. There are no secrets anymore, only laws. And the difference between the man who prospers and the man who perishes lies in his willingness to live by them. These laws do not respond to emotion. They do not bend to intention alone. They answer to discipline, to application, to the clarity of purpose and the depth of persistence. The rich man, the powerful man, the man who walks through life with a sense of divine certainty is not favored by chance. He is not chosen by luck. He is chosen by law because he chose to live by the law. You are one decision away from becoming such a man. But that decision cannot be shallow. It must be a full surrender. A surrender to the laws that govern riches so that in return, riches may surrender themselves to you. You must revisit the law of value with sharper teeth. Understand this truth. Most people waste years polishing what they want to say instead of mastering what people need to hear. They decorate themselves with knowledge that cannot be sold. They memorize data that solves no problem. You must rise above this mediocrity. You must dedicate yourself to becoming useful at the highest level. Ask yourself every single day, what pain can I solve? What process can I simplify? What desire can I fulfill more efficiently than anyone else? The answer to that question is your fortune. Because when you become the solution, money becomes the side effect. The market does not pay the busy. It pays the effective. Do not confuse effort with value. You must produce results, not reasons. The law of persistence now demands more than consistency. It demands identity. Persistence must not be an act. It must be your nature. The man who persists occasionally will eventually fall to fatigue, discouragement, or distraction. But the man who sees persistence not as a strategy, but as a part of his essence, he cannot be stopped. Every day, repeat to yourself, I do not quit. I persist until the result is mine. Let it shape your posture. Let it echo in your speech. Let it drive your decisions. And most people stop when the result is not immediate. The wealthy keep pressing forward because they understand this. Every action deposits into the bank of inevitability. You are either quitting or accumulating. Choose wisely. Return again to the law of belief, for it is the soil in which all these laws grow. If you hold poverty in your imagination, riches will never take root. If you picture failure more than victory, you will plant the seed of self-sabotage before the harvest ever begins. Belief is not fluff. It is function. It is the governor of your action and the architect of your results. Reprogram it daily. Refuse to dwell in doubt. Cut off every inner voice that speaks fear. Amplify the ones that shout faith. Your belief must become louder than your environment, louder than your past, louder than your limitations. Speak it even when you don't see it. I am rich in purpose, rich in value, rich in execution, and rich in results. Make belief your shield and your sword. Next is the law of decision. You cannot evolve without decisive action. Every man who climbs has decided to leave the ground. The moment you hesitate, you empower fear. And fear, once given breath, becomes a parasite to your ambition. Cut it off with decision. Move with urgency. Do not consult weakness. Do not negotiate with doubt. The world will try to delay you. Life will offer distractions. But your job is to remain fixed on what must be done. Decide like your future depends on it, because it does. The quality of your life is the sum total of the quality of your decisions. Weak decisions, weak life. Bold decisions, rich life. You must decide not just what you want, but who you are. Decide to become the man who follows through, no matter what. Let us sharpen the law of environment now to its highest edge. If your circle does not challenge you, it is a cage. If your space does not inspire action, it invites complacency. If your routine does not breed discipline, it breeds decay. You must become the curator of your own empire. Eliminate what weakens you. This includes people, places, apps, habits, thoughts. Ruthlessly remove what does not align. Success is not only built by what you do, but also by what you refuse to allow. Audit your life. If it does not pull you toward wealth, it is pulling you away from it. Design an environment that demands your greatness every hour. Let your space speak of ambition. Let your circle reflect your vision. Let your routine enforce your excellence. Your surroundings are not neutral. They either serve your purpose or sabotage it. Now turn inward once again to the law of expectation. Speak like success is guaranteed. Walk like wealth is near. Think like the outcome is already yours. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. Expectation aligns your vibration with the results you desire. When you expect great things, you prepare for them. You attract them. You act in accordance with them. The man who expects failure moves with hesitation. The man who expects victory moves with precision. Choose who you will be. Say it now. I expect wealth. I expect opportunity. I expect favor. I expect results. This mental state must become permanent, not temporary. It must outlast the setback. It must override the delay. Expectation is the signal to the universe that you are ready. Send that signal daily. There is a higher application of the law of definite purpose. It must become obsession. Purpose is not something you remember when it's convenient. It must burn in you so deeply that distraction becomes impossible. Every day must begin with it. Every plan must serve it. Every moment must be measured against it. Ask constantly, does this align with my purpose? If not, it must go. You cannot afford split energy. You cannot build legacy with diluted focus. Your purpose is your compass, your fuel, your standard. And once it is fixed, you become a man possessed, not by ego, not by greed, but by mission. And mission is what makes men immortal. Let us now unify the 7 laws into a single command. Live by them. Not just know them, not just speak of them, but embody them. Wake up with them. Walk with them. Make decisions by them. Build routines around them. These laws are your ladder, and the higher you climb, the clearer your vision, the sharper your power, the greater your wealth. This is not theory, it is the science of destiny. You must treat these laws as sacred, because the man who aligns with them cannot stay poor. It is law. You must no longer be casual with your life. Casual behavior creates casualty. Your words must build. Your thoughts must create. Your actions must produce. And when they do, the evidence will arrive. Slowly at first, then all at once. You will find yourself surrounded by opportunities. People will seek your insight. Wealth will multiply. Doors will open. And the world will whisper what it always whispers to the disciplined. He was always destined for more. You must believe now, without doubt, that these laws are already working in your favor. You have planted the seed. The soil is rich. The roots are forming. Stay the course. Your riches are not coming. They are on schedule. Keep feeding your mind. Keep directing your habits. Keep sharpening your skill. The man who does this not only attracts riches, he becomes rich in spirit, in mind, in life. And that kind of wealth no man can steal. That kind of wealth outlives empires. Do not merely talk like success, think like it, act like it, walk like it, breathe like it, live like it. Talk like success until you live it. Then keep talking, keep teaching, keep building. Because once you master these laws, your responsibility begins to multiply them in others, to become a beacon, to become proof that success is lawful, not accidental. You are no longer the seeker. You are the standard. Carry that with strength. Speak it with power. Live it without apology. You are not waiting on wealth. It is waiting on you.